I'm PJ Kimmel, and this is my wife Tricia Kimmel, and we're from Turner, Montana, north central Montana, close to the Canadian-Saskatchewan border. So we're looking at adaptive grazing on our ranch here, kind of basically a stalker operation. Try to do a lot of different grazing management. Basically, we're trying to do a lot of work with the yearlings and the soil.
We don't have any irrigation on this place or anything, and typically we were putting up dryland hay. Decided a few years ago to figure out a way to do that differently, so we weren't having to put up hay all summer and feed all winter. So we converted to a stalker operation. I think with any management change, it all comes down to what your mental paradigms are. Even with all the changes we've made, we still catch ourselves once in a while saying, well, we can't do that. That would never work. But then you have to stop and think, okay, now maybe it won't in this situation, but what could we do to make it work? There were people I was talking to, 20 years ago that were talking about cell grazing, and it just sounded like some pie in the sky thing that, somebody was trying, and now everybody you talk to is familiar with these kinds of things. So.
It's totally different mindset. You got to be ready for that change, and until you're ready, people aren't going to do it, but I do believe in it. The soil health, the intense grazing, the animals on that land, the high stock density, all the pieces of the puzzles, in the last 5-6 years, the more we learn, the more they come to fit, and I truly believe in it. So we're strip grazing, intense strip grazing down these strips. I started over there 5 days ago. I just moved them into this strip this morning. Head down 3/4 of a mile. And I'll just keep going down the field. I got cable wire set up going down the strips. I roll that up. I got a roller on my hydrobed peg up. So my daily moves, I use the poly wire. It's lighter, it's faster. One of our goals is put the most stock density on this ground as we possibly can put on here at one time. Taking care of the cattle. I don't want them to fall back. But I want this grass trampled down. I want the manure in the urine concentrated the best I can.
We had to look at our numbers a little differently too. It's not a matter of just looking at your balance sheet and you have to actually know how to calculate what your margins are and be really, really honest with yourself about what numbers are going into that. Pencil it all out, and then you have something real to make decisions on.
If you can do just as much with less, instead of having 20,000 acres to make a living, if you could do it on 5,000 acres, that'd be more room for somebody else to step in. One of the biggest changes, to do adaptive, intense grazing, water, it all starts with the water. So we have had put in some pipeline through Equipped, and RSA helped fund some of that. Water is good for cattle, it's good for the wildlife, it's good for pasture utilization,
It just has far-reaching effects. Everything that we're doing day to day here has such an impact. It affects the wildlife, it affects the soil biology. It all starts with your soil biology, and then that affects everything above ground.
We have to manage for the future at all times.